Hey guys, what's up? Shin0555 here, coming at you with another video. Before we get in, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. That really does help me out, helps out the channel, and I do appreciate it. But today's video, I want to talk about why Nintendo fans are the worst. And I think we can all agree on this. So, let me clarify before I start, because I did the same thing in my Women Hate Video Games video, where I just said it broadly, but apparently people get very upset when you do that. I'm not saying every single Nintendo fan's terrible, obviously. But I do think there's a good number of Nintendo fans out there that their loyalty, their, affection towards Nintendo allows Nintendo to be as shitty as it is. And no, here, I'll be honest, I love Nintendo. I think Nintendo, from a game-making standpoint, is amazing. I think they make good consoles. I think they make some of the best video games out there. I love Mario, Zelda, Star Fox, Metroid's pretty good. Not a super big fan of F-Zero though. But a lot of Nintendo IPs I really do enjoy. And I think they're a great company when it comes to making games. But that's not all they do. And there's a lot of other aspects of Nintendo that I really don't like. And one of the things I think makes Nintendo so bad is kind of these rabid Nintendo fans that will defend Nintendo no matter what they do. So the latest example is the Switch 2 and pricing on games, where people, not many people think the $450 for the Nintendo Switch consoles too bad. If you're in America, that's the price it is now. And I think that's reasonable, but paying $80 for a digital game is fucking ridiculous. And it should be, and especially Mario Kart World being $80, it's bad. And honestly, if you're a fan of Nintendo, a real fan of Nintendo, you should be complaining about Nintendo that the price of this game is just way too high. One, it's a launch title. Two, it's a Mario Kart game. Mario Kart games should never be more than $40. There's not a lot of content in them. They're not, it's like a spin-off title. You shouldn't have to pay full price game for a spin-off title. You just shouldn't have to do it. So yeah, it's just I feel like Nintendo is making a bad decision, pricing the games so high, and especially for Mario Kart. If this was a new mainline 3D Mario game, fine, $80, I can understand that. Even if it's a 3D Zelda game, the newest Zelda game they're making, okay, I can understand $80, but Mario Kart, that's terrible. But you do have Nintendo fans defending it, being oh, Nintendo needs this, they need to charge that much money for the game. That's just the way the games cost now, blah, blah, blah. And it's you're not holding Nintendo accountable, and there's consequences to that. So one thing I do want to talk about is even though Nintendo is pretty good at innovative when it comes to consoles and different ways to play and things like that, they don't innovate when it comes to gaming. And especially, I think the best example of this is Pokemon. Pokemon has literally been the same game for 20 years. People get on Call of Duty for just each year releasing a new game that's identical to the one before. Pokemon does the same shit. I just looked at the newest trailer for the Pokemon game, AZ, or whatever it's called, and honestly, looking at it, it looks like a fucking PlayStation 2 game. This game looks like it should have came out on the GameCube. Just the way the characters animate, the way the game kind of looks, and it's kind of structured, it looks very clunky, it doesn't look great, and with the amount of money Pokemon makes, is able to generate, the new Pokemon game should be looking like Monster Hunter Wilds. That's the type of quality we should see from Pokemon, but we don't, because people just eat up fucking Pokemon. They just buy it no matter what. They don't care about really the quality of the game. And now I'm not going to say Pokemon game quality is low. You might be able to argue for a lot of the 3D games it's low. I heard Violet and the other one wasn't so great. Again, but with the amount of money they make and how long Pokemon's been around, again, we should be expecting an actual triple A Pokemon game now But it's just like, no, they're basically just making games that look like, you know, they should be on the PlayStation 2. Like, it's really bad. And again, one reason why Nintendo gets to do it is because, like, the fans don't really complain about this bullshit. Or don't complain about it enough where it actually matters to Nintendo. Like, if people weren't going to buy this new Pokemon game, they'd actually take a look back and just be like, okay, maybe we should start, like, innovating. Maybe we should treat this like a AAA title like it should be. And again, that's all on the fans. It's just like, again, it's just like, even if a Pokemon games look bad, you'll have people that are just so obsessed with this franchise that they'll just go out and buy the game no matter what the quality is. And and Nintendo knows that. Like, and again, I don't really blame Nintendo as a company. It's just like, yeah, no, we know we could put out, like, fucking half-baked games and people will still fucking buy it. And again, that falls on the fans. Another thing that I don't like about Nintendo fans is there's, like, this weird rabidness against if a game company makes a game that looks like a Nintendo game, you have to attack it. The latest we've seen this one is with Palworld. People really getting on Palworld for being like a Pokemon clone, and you had like the real big Nintendo fans who hated on Palworld, said like, oh, this game should, you know, be shut down, blah blah. How dare they make a game that looks like Pokemon? They're infringing on their copyright, blah 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 blah. And it's just like, you should be welcoming competition. Because the competition will actually make Nintendo do better and make better games. That's how competition works. So, again, but they've been doing this for years. Like, another great example is PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. I personally think PlayStation All-Stars is a much better fighting game than any Smash Brother game. Even Smash Ultimate. I would always rather play PlayStation All-Stars over a Smash Brothers game. I think it's much better. But I guess a lot of people don't feel that way either. But I remember when that game came out, and it got critically and I guess commercially, but critically and audience panned, and just for the sin of being like Smash Brothers. That was the biggest complaint I seen from PlayStation All-Stars, is that it was a Smash Brothers clone. How dare Sony make a fucking Smash Brothers game? That's pretty much what all the reviews boiled down to. Same thing happened again with the first Sonic and Sega All-Stars racing game. How dare Sega make a racing game based on Sonic and their other IPs? How dare they make a Mario Kart-esque game? And again, got critically panned. And there is no doubt that the first Sonic and Sega All-Stars racing game, I guarantee you, is going to be better than Mario Kart Worlds. Just is. Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing is, like, hands down one of the best racing games ever. But yeah, and another thing that, like, people should get on Nintendo about is Nintendo's almost animosity towards fans and content creators, and how they deal with, like, competition that comes from smaller studios. Like, a good example is Palworld again. How Palworld kind of, like, I guess in Nintendo's mind, is stepping on Pokemon's, like, fan base, like, stepping on Pokemon's IP, and so instead of, you know, doing something about it, they just decide to sue them. Nintendo knows they're a much larger company. They know that the company that makes Palworld is a smaller indie company. They could just sue them into the fucking ground. Another, like, shitty business practice thing they did was when they finally decided to make a remake of Metroid 2 with Samus Returns on the 3DS, not only did they make it, they went on like an extra step and told the people that were making the fan project another Metroid 2 remake, which is a great fan project, by the way. They gave them a cease and desist, because how dare you use a fan project on a game we just decided to make, you know, like 20, 30 years later. Like, you know, fuck you, fans. Like, that's Nintendo's stance. And again, as like a content creator on YouTube, when I talk to other people that make videos, especially on like video game stuff, is like, I hear it all the time where people want to make videos on Nintendo games like Zelda, Mario, Pokemon, things like that, but they don't want to because Nintendo has a very just retarded, archaic policy of like, you're just not allowed to show our games. And Yeah, it's fucking terrible, honestly. And again, if there was more fan outrage for it, Nintendo would change their ways. But it's just a really weird, like, fan base that just, like, there's a good portion of Nintendo fans that will just defend Nintendo for anything that they do. Like, it's insane. So, again, I really hope, just, like, I can bring light, like, just Nintendo fans in general, like, the bad ones that will defend Nintendo's shitty business practices and going after, like, smaller, YouTube channels and stuff. Like, Nintendo almost got rid of a YouTube channel called Retro Game Corp, which is a great handheld emulation, kind of Android-based gaming YouTube channel. It does a bunch of tutorials, shows off a bunch of these new, like, Android-based handhelds, even gaming PCs, things like that. And Nintendo almost deleted his channel off the internet, his fucking livelihood, because how dare you show Switch emulation? And again, it's stuff like that that I just cannot get behind Nintendo. And I see, like, again, people in the Nintendo fan camp just being like, no, Nintendo was completely in their right to destroy this man's livelihood, because how dare he show Switch emulation? Nintendo's completely right. And it's just like, those fans, you're not helping Nintendo by, like, doing that. And you're not helping just gamers in general. You are just supporting a shitty company that does not care about your loyalty. Nintendo does not care that you know, have been playing their games since the NES. You gotta call out a shitty business practice when you see it. And again, you can like the company too. I like Nintendo. I like the products they produce. But I don't like how they handle a bunch of other shit in their, like, company. And again, you can still be a fan and call them out at the same time. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And, yeah, those are really all my thoughts. I just wanted to vent about, like, Nintendo fans. And, like, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Do you agree with me that Nintendo fans are the fucking worst? Let me know down in the comment section below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Anyway, guys, I'm done ranting, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, thanks, bye. Later.